Hey, in this video, I'm going to discuss how to make the proper measurements for your radial design. Remember, the first video, part one of this lesson, in terms of video and instruction and demonstration, just had you set up the radial design so that the lines are coming from the center out in a very equal manner. Okay, we stated some measurements here and intersected the middle point, which we found with the giant X from corner to corner. If you don't know what I'm talking about, please go to that first video and review the information there. Now, in order to make a radial design, we need to have a unit of measurement that comes from the center outwards. Now, you can use a ruler. Ruler's already marked up, meaning they already have marks, right? So if you place your 0 mark to the ruler, you can make marks going around in a circle, okay? Or you can use a thin sheet of paper. I like to use a thin sheet of paper because I don't want to be contained by the measurements on my ruler. Now, the way I use a thin sheet of paper is I take this corner. I take a corner and maybe mark it with a pen or a pencil, right? So that's the corner that I'm going to use. I'm going to place this corner in the center point of my radial setup. And then once the center point is connected with the corner, I'm going to line it up with one of the lines. So I'm going to say my first mark is here, and then I'll make that mark on my sheet of paper. So now I have, hopefully you guys can see this, I have a mark at the corner, which is connected to the center, and a mark, or the first mark, which is about 1.5 inches away. It's right there. And it's also the first marking of my first line. Now, what you want to do with this is make that same mark going in a circle. You want to go in a circular motion. I make sure that I'm on the center point. Make a mark, center point, make a mark, center point, mark, center, mark. The goal here is to make about 4 or 5 levels of marks. Okay, this is my first level. And it's very important to go step by step in this process. Now, if you're using a ruler, which is also recommended, just pick a unit, a number. If you want to make it 1 inch, 1.5 inches, 2 inches away, then do so. So hopefully you guys can see that. I made those marks, okay? I'm going to take my phone and just kind of focus on that a little bit more. So those marks right here are made by creating a unit of measurement, right? So I got the corner to that mark there, and I went in a circular motion. All right, I'm gonna do another set, another layer. There you go. Let's make sure this is in focus. Same idea. I'm gonna take this corner. Now I'm gonna go a little further down on my paper that I cut in a strip. Maybe I want my next mark here, so I'll line it up to that. Now I have 2 marks. center mark, my first unit of measurement, my second. And I'll go in a circular motion. And my goal is to get no less than 4 of these levels. So we're on level 2, right? 1, 2. And I'll go in a circular motion. Making sure my corner is where it should be. It's connected to the middle. One of the key things here, make sure your work area is clean, because I already have a little messy mark there. Okay. I'm just gonna go in a circle. Looks like my strip is dirty. Okay, that's number 2. So I'm gonna make these marks with my marker. You do not do this right now. I just want you guys to see it a little bit better. These are the marks I created for level 2. This is my level 1 here. Okay, now I'm gonna go to level 3. Same idea, make sure your center point is with the corner of the paper. You can make a mark here. Now there are tools that we can use to make these marks a lot easier. If you have a compass, that helps out. If you don't, this works very well. So corner, here, corner, mark it, and don't question if you're putting a corner at the center and making your mark at the right place. You don't have to question whether don't question the distance between some areas, because what happens is when you get to the corners, there's going to be a little optical illusion. You're going to feel like this area is further than this area, but it's not. It's just an illusion. And if you don't see that, well, good for you. I'm going to correct that one. I was a little too short. Always look to see if you're marked in the right area. Let's make some adjustments here. This is my 3rd level. Okay, so let me highlight those with my marker. 3rd level. Now remember, I'm doing this so that you can see it clearer, right? This should be done in pencil. At the very end, you can go over with a marker to highlight lines. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3 levels. Now your last level, may exit the paper at some point, okay? So for example, if I make a corner mark here, we have 1 level, 2 level, 3 level, maybe my 4th level is here. But if we travel across, it exits the paper, so I can't make a mark there. So I'm only making a mark there. Can't make a mark. I'm only making a mark in the 4 corners. Hopefully that makes sense. All right, let me mark this paper up so that you guys can see it with a marker. Much better. Near, near, near. Excuse me. So let's go across. See these marks? They're lined up. Now, when you go to the corner mark, I mean the line that goes to the corner, that's when you make your mark. Let's see if it happens here. Nope. Nope. You see how it exits? My 4th mark is out here. And here's one here. So I just travel across and make sure that I have the marks here. So I have my 4th level. The only thing that you have to consider when designing is that 4th level exists outside of the paper. So if I was doing, so that circular part is here. You're not gonna really see it, but that level is here somewhere. All right, because it exits and it follows this dot right here. All right, so somewhere around there. Okay, now that we have these dots, the next video will show you how to design these dots. So the first thing you need to do is the setup. Set up your radial design with these dots inside your template. So I'll be sending that video shortly.